Some words are too heavy for the mailbox, so they stay folded in a drawer, waiting for a heart that no longer needs them. There's a stack of faded envelopes, bound with a ribbon turning gray. Every page begins with "Dear You," but none were on their way. Ink stains linger on the paper, like rain upon our window pane. I wrote them through the lonely nights, trying to outrun the pain. Some spoke of quiet coffee mornings, some confessed the things I feared, some just held a single sentence: I wish you were still here. I used to think if you could read them, you might come back someday. Now I know these words were written just to help me find my way. These are the letters I never sent, full of borrowed time and regret. Every page a little lighter than the moment when it was kept. I seal them with forgotten tears, address them to yesterday. But healing isn't getting answers, it's learning what not to say. Letters I never sent still help my heart speak. The old desk creaks beneath my elbows, moonlight spilling on the wood. I read one from a winter evening when nothing felt any good. You'd smile at all the bad handwriting, the coffee rings and crossed out lines. I guess love isn't always perfect, sometimes it's simply trying. The clock keeps ticking toward tomorrow, while the fire burns down low. Some stories don't need endings, they only need letting go. Every folded piece of paper carries pieces of my soul, but I don't need to mail them now, I've already grown. These are the letters I never sent, written more for me than you. They taught my hands forgiveness before my heart could too. Every paragraph a stepping stone, every sentence set me free. The words I couldn't tell you became the man I'd be. Simply shake your hand and smile, thankful that we lasted. 'Cause every unwritten future started with a goodbye, and every unopened envelope helped me learn to fly. these are the letters I never sent, no longer filled with pain. They're little maps that led me home through every storm and rain. I place them back inside the drawer, close it with a gentle hand. Not because I've forgotten you, but because I finally understand. The candle burns its final inch, the room grows still, the drawer stays closed. And somewhere beyond these quiet walls, a new story waits for blank pages. The coffee's gone cold, but I still wait. Like somehow you'll walk through that door again. There's an empty coffee cup sitting where you left it last, a little stain upon the table, a little piece of our past. Morning sunlight fills the room, but never warms these walls. Without your quiet laughter here, the silence echoes through it all. I still make 2 cups every Sunday, then catch myself halfway. Some habits don't disappear, they just slowly fade away. Steam used to rise between our smiles, now only memories remain. Funny how the smallest things can carry so much pain. This empty coffee cup still knows your touch. It holds more love than I've forgotten. Every crack inside the porcelain looks a little like my heart. You left without taking anything except my favorite part. I sip the bitter morning slowly, trying not to think of us. But every lonely sunrise starts with this empty coffee cup. The radio plays our old song, soft enough to almost hide. I pretend I'm reading headlines while tears gather in my eyes. Outside people hurry by, living stories of their own. Inside this little cafe, I've never felt so alone. The waitress knows my order now. She doesn't ask me why. She only fills my mug again and offers one small smile. Maybe healing isn't loud, maybe it arrives this way, one quiet morning at a time, one ordinary day. This empty coffee cup still waits for you somehow, like the chair across the table that nobody uses now. Every drop that's left inside, taste of things we could couldn't save. Some people leave a memory. You left a life I gave, and every lonely sunrise starts with this empty coffee cup. One day someone else may sit here, sharing stories, sharing life, but no one will ever know how you once made mornings bright. I'll never erase your picture, just learn to paint around the space. Some love doesn't disappear, it simply changes place. This empty coffee cup no longer makes me cry. It reminds me that we lived, even if we said goodbye. The coffee may grow colder, the years may drift away, but every sunrise taught me love was worth the stay. So I'll raise this final sip to the dream we used to know, then leave the cup upon the table and finally let it go. The cafe opens, the city wakes, a new customer walks in, and for the first time I smile back. The night is breathing in blue again, paint dripping from the edge of the moon. I light another cigarette, trying to remember the sound of you. There's an old chair by the window frame, still waiting where you used to stay. Every shadow knows your name, but every morning fades away. I keep a picture in my mind, brush with colors that won't dry, a masterpiece we left behind, hanging underneath this lonely sky. If I could paint the way I feel, I'd cover every broken wall. Maybe then I'd understand why love can rise and still can fall. I'm painting on a midnight canvas, stroke becomes a memory. Every line still leads to you. The stars keep watching from above, like they know what I've been through. This empty heart's a silent gallery, still hanging every piece of you. The city sleeps beneath the rain, neon reflections on the street. I hear your footsteps once again, only echoes I can keep. Coffee's cold beside the lamp, dust collecting on my sleeve. Funny how a quiet room can make a grown man still believe. If time were only oil and ink, I'd paint us back into one frame. But every color slowly fades, and nothing ever stays the same. I'm painting on a midnight canvas, using tears instead of blue. Every stroke becomes a memory. Every line still leads to you. The stars keep watching from above, like they know what I've been through. This empty heart's a silent gallery, still hanging every piece of you. Maybe every broken artist needs a little loss to see. Maybe all these shattered colors were always meant to set me free. Still I'd trade this lonely masterpiece for one more night with you. I'm painting on a midnight canvas, where your shadow still survives. Every brush becomes forgiveness. Every memory comes alive. Though the picture's never finished, though the paint begins to fade, you'll always be the finest color that my lonely hands have made. When the morning steals the darkness and the moonlight leaves the room, I'll fold this canvas with my heart and wait for another midnight bloom. I used to think the stars were too far away, until I realized they were waiting for me to finally look up. fire flickers softly, casting shadows on the trees. The night wraps around my shoulders like an old familiar breeze. Crickets sing their quiet chorus. The moon hangs low and bright. Every little spark above me feels like hope in black and white. I spent years chasing daylight, running from the dark, never knowing midnight carried its own kind of spark. Maybe silence isn't empty, maybe it has something to say. If you stop long enough to listen, it will show you the way. When the stars learn my name, I'll know I've come this far. Not because I touched the heavens, but because I healed my heart. Every light above reminds me, even distance still can shine. Maybe I was never broken, just waiting for my time. When the stars learn my name, I'll smile into the night. An old dog sleeps beside me, dreaming somewhere in the grass. The wind carries stories gently of the years that slowly passed. A shooting star cuts through the darkness, gone before I blink, teaching me that beauty lies shorter than we think. So I breathe a little deeper, let tomorrow wait its turn. Some lessons only find you when there's nothing left to earn. The universe keeps moving without asking who we are, yet somehow every lonely soul still ends beneath these stars. When the stars learn my name, they won't ask where I've been. They'll simply shine beside me like they've always known my skin. Every sky becomes a constellation, every tear becomes the sea. Every road that once felt endless led exactly here to me. When the stars learn my name, I'll finally believe. Simply alive. The galaxies keep dancing, never worried if they're seen. Maybe peace is learning to love the in-between. When the stars learn my name, I'll whisper back to them. Thank you for the quiet nights that taught me how to mend. I don't need forever now, I don't need to understand. All I need is this moment, the sky, and where I stand. somewhere above, without making a sound. They've known my name all along.
The rain stopped hours ago, but the window still wears your reflection. There's a blue window in this old apartment, looking out across the silent street. I stand here every evening, hoping our memories and tomorrow might meet. The paint is cracked around the edges, like promises left out in the cold. Every scratch upon the glass knows a story never told. The wind keeps whispering your name, like it never learned goodbye. And every cloud that drifts above still carries pieces of the sky. Some people chase the sunrise, some people run from rain. I'm just staring through this window, trying to outrun yesterday. Blue window, tell me what you see. Is she somewhere thinking of me? Does she still stop when the music plays? Or has she already walked away? Every reflection fades with time, but yours still lingers in the light. Blue window, keep my secret safe until the morning breaks the night. Across the road an old man whistles a tune I used to hum with you. The melody floats through the evening air, like something broken but still true. I found your scarf behind the sofa, soft with traces of your scent. Funny how forgotten things can bring back everything we meant. I trace your initials in the fogged up glass, only to watch them disappear. Maybe that's what healing is, learning not to keep you here. The city's full of open doors, your mind stays half closed still, waiting on a shadow that never climbs the hill. Blue window, tell me what you know. Where do lost lovers go? Do they become catches moonlight like silver running through old pain. Blue window, hold this lonely heart until it learns to love again. Let the sunlight flood the room. Maybe fresh air can carry away the perfume of old wounds. Until then you'll be my witness, watching seasons drift and change. A silent frame around a life trying to rearrange. Blue window, I can finally see the man I used to be. Not the one who waited endlessly, but the one learning to be free. The rain has washed the glass so clean, the stars are shining through, and for the first time in forever, I don't just see you, I see tomorrow too. The curtain moves with the night breeze, the room grows quiet, blue window stays. But this time I walk away smiling. Found an old box in the attic, covered in dust and yesterday. Funny how memories wait so patiently. I opened up a cardboard heart filled with letters and worn out dreams. Every photograph still whispered more than silence ever means. Your smile's frozen in the colors, edges curling with the years. Time may steal the sharpest details, but it never steals the tears. A little cafe by the river, a road we drove beneath July. I could almost hear your laughter, living somewhere in the sky. Some pictures fade to amber, some stories lose their name, but love leaves fingerprints behind that time can fading Polaroids still hold a piece of us. Tiny paper windows covered by forgotten dust. Every snapshot caught a heartbeat, every frame a borrowed light. Though the colors slowly vanish, the feeling stays alive. I'm not trying to rewind, I'm just grateful they survived. The corners crack beneath my fingers, like promises worn thin. But every little imperfection makes them beautiful again. I found one where we danced barefoot under strings of yellow lights. Neither one of us was perfect, we were simply feeling right. Outside, autumn fills the backyard, leaves surrender to the breeze. Maybe memories were never meant to stay exactly as we please. The older that I get, the more I come to know some things are only precious because we let them go. These fading Polaroids don't make me cry anymore. They're little bits of sunlight left behind inside a drawer. Every wrinkle tells a story, every scratch becomes a line in the novel of a lifetime that I'm lucky to call mine. If someday someone finds these pictures long after I am gone, I hope they see two ordinary souls who simply love too long. Not every ending needs a villain, not every goodbye has regret. Sometimes forever lives inside the moments we don't forget. These fading Polaroids still glow beneath the dust, proof that hearts can break apart and still remember trust. The colors may be softer now, the edge is worn and old, but every single memory is worth more than gold. So I'll place them back with care, close the box without a sigh, because love doesn't disappear, it just learns another way to shine. The attic grows quiet, the sun slips through the window, and somewhere inside that little box, 1,000 yesterdays smile back at me.
The night has done all it could. Now the sky's learning how to breathe again. Maybe this is not the end. Maybe this is the beginning. Watch the stars fade one by one, like old regrets losing their fight. The moon slipped quietly behind the hills, giving way to morning light. My coat still carries yesterday, dust from roads I used to roam. But somehow every step I take feels a little more like home. The wind no longer calls your name, it only whispers mine, as if the world has been waiting for me to cross this line. I spent so long chasing shadows, afraid to face the dawn. But every broken road I walked was leading me along. Before sunrise, I found myself hidden underneath the pain. The heart that once was falling apart has learned to beat again. Every scar became a story, every tear became the rain. And now the morning paints the sky with colors I can finally name. Before sunrise, I was lost, now I'm found again. The coffee tastes a little sweeter, the silence doesn't feel so loud. Even lonely park benches look different in the daylight now. Past the places we once knew, they smile without regret. The memories don't hurt anymore, they're simply places that we met. An old musician on the corner plays a slow, familiar tune. This time I don't break down crying, I simply hum along. Maybe healing isn't forgetting, maybe it's learning to carry the weight without letting it pull you under. Before sunrise, I found my way somewhere between goodbye and grace. I stopped looking for yesterday and finally saw my own face. The sky keeps opening above me, blue replacing shades of gray. Turns out hope was always waiting, just one night away. If you ever think about me, I hope you smile instead of cry. didn't fail us completely. It taught us how to grow. Sometimes letting go is the greatest love we'll ever know. So I'll leave the window open, let tomorrow fill the room. No more hiding in the darkness, no more waiting for the moon. Before sunrise, I found peace, not in someone else's arms, but in my own heartbeat. The road ahead is still uncertain, but my feet no longer shake. I've learned that every ending is another chance to wake. The sun climbs over distant hills, golden on the avenue, and with every breath I whisper, thank you for everything we went through. Because without the night, I never would have loved the morning. The birds begin to sing, the city slowly wakes. A painter opens his studio and stretches a blank new canvas. I pick up my guitar, I smile at the sunrise, and for the first time I write a song that isn't about losing, it's about living. I watch the stars fade one by one, like old regrets losing their fight. The moon's I used to think the horizon was a place I had to reach. Now I know it was teaching me how to keep moving. The morning sun climbs slowly above the endless sea. Every wave that touches shore feels like it's calling me. The years behind are quiet now, like footprints in the sand. The tide erased the worries I could never understand. My old guitar still knows me. It's wood worn smooth with time. Every scar upon its body sings another line. The wind has been my teacher, the stars have been my guide. The road, the sea, the mountains were always on my side. Blue horizon stretching farther than my eyes can see. You were never something distant, lighthouse fades behind me, but its light still fills my soul. The rivers I have crossed before have made this traveler whole. I hear children laughing freely down a road lined with pines. They remind me joy is simple, hidden in ordinary times. An old woman tends her garden, smiling at the sky. She says flowers never worry about the reason why. The birds don't count the seasons, the ocean doesn't race. Everything arrives exactly at its perfect place. Blue horizon, every color tells my name. I no longer chase tomorrow, I dance inside the flame. Every mile became forgiveness, every tear became the rain. Every storm I thought would break me helped my roots remain. Blue horizon, I finally understand. What changed me? I won't speak of pain. I'll tell them about quiet mornings after nights of heavy rain. I'll tell them about strangers who smiled without a reason, about sunsets that taught patience and winters that became spring. Because healing isn't magic, it's choosing every day to believe another sunrise will always find a way. Blue horizon, you were never far away. You were waiting in the courage to begin another day. My heart is lighter now, my hands no longer hold weight of all the yesterdays that made my spirit cold. Now I carry only gratitude, the music and the sky. And if tomorrow calls again, I'll answer without asking why. Blue horizon, forever wide, forever new, forever true, and wherever life may lead, I'll keep walking toward the light. The sea grows quiet, the wind becomes still, the final chord hangs softly across the morning air. One last breath, one last smile, and somewhere beyond the blue, another horizon